My name is An Nguyen. I'm the animation teacher and esports coach at Garland High School. So right now, currently, we have 2 teams in League of Legends and 2 teams in Rocket League. So last school year, in the fall, we were actually the state champs for Play VS, which is a company that we play through for most of our esports team. And then we were able to go to state and nationals, which we placed 5th at state. So when you're in a team, an esports team, it's kind of like working within a team in a company and a corporation. Everybody has a particular role that they do, especially if you're the leader. So in the game, there's always an in-game leader, and that person is pretty much the director of the team, and they distribute certain jobs and certain teamwork aspect that is being given. I think communication is probably the most important thing. Just being able to work with your team, communicate with them, asking help when you need it, and also like leadership skills as well. So when you're on a team on esports, that's always, when you talk about work, you're talking about a work-life balance, and that very thing goes with esports too as well. You're sitting on a computer 8 to 10 hours a day, every single day, and so you need that time to kind of take a break from work, take a break from esports, and kind of just focus on yourself, work out, make sure you eat correctly, your diet, and everything kind of translate, from having a corporate job or having an esports job. So I think in-game leaders in a game, people are willing to step up, take more responsibilities like watching demos, scheduling practices, letting other people on your team know what they're good at, what they're not good at, and what they can focus on. And I think that's pretty much what a manager kind of does in a team. You take that team, you lead it, and then hopefully you find success in that way. So kind of like when you're doing a research, right? When you research a team, it's kind of similar to kind of researching your competitor or researching your market out there. So every week you have to be flexible with who you're playing. So you have to watch, you do have to dedicate a lot of time to watch film, to see how certain teams play a certain way, and to translate that into the real world. It's kind of the same thing. If you're talking to a client, you need to know what that client does, what they're looking for, and what they are against. And then within that, you can kind of get a good idea of how the other team or the other company is. That way you can kind of pitch yourself in a better position. One thing that I always tell my students and my players is to never burn bridges. Once you're in the industry, you never know what opportunity might come, and it might be coming from a company that's pretty much going against yours. Same with the team setting too as well. Like if you're playing for Na'Vi, you don't want to badmouth or burn bridges with any other company just in case something happens and you might actually jump ship over there. And if they have an opening, you might kind of apply to that company, or you can move on to a new contract with a new team. So with gaming, there's a lot of high pressures. You're playing against multiple people in the world, and sometimes when you're in an arena, you're playing in front of like hundreds and thousands of people. So learning how to control that stress, learning how to pretty much perform under pressure, that's a huge factor when it comes to gaming. And then in the real world, it's kind of the same way. If you're working on a big project and this week you're working 50, 60 hours a week, you need to know how to manage your time and manage your stress level to make sure it doesn't push you over the top. So either, when you're talking about a game or a job, your job is never the same. You might come up with a project where you're used to doing the same thing a certain way, but that doesn't mean the next project is going to be the same thing. Same with games. Every single update, there's always some changes, and you have to know how to adapt. And you always got to know how to work with new teammates, work with new people within the organization. Same with the company as well. So a lot of my students, they always talk about, oh, I want to be a professional gamer, I want to be a professional gamer. And to be honest, that's less than maybe 0.05% of people that will actually make a living off gaming. But that doesn't mean you can't be in the world of esports. Within esports, you can do marketing, you can do advertising, you can do accounting. There's just so many jobs that you can do within an organization. So even if you want to be around the esports scene and you're not good enough to be a pro player, it doesn't mean you can't be involved in that organization.